my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to my YouTube short on explaining nerves in Geometry Dash with Shade491. Hopefully you enjoy. I don't really know. Let's get to it. In short summary, nerves, the more nervous you get, the harder a level gets because you have more pressure. So let's say you start from 0%, right? So you get here, you're going, it's like, okay, it's not too bad, you're gonna get a little nervous, then you hit here, and now it's just mainly nerves, because like, holy shit, I can probably beat the level. Then you get to here, right? Let's say that 90% range or somewhere around there, it's gonna turn into stress, because then now you're like, oh my god, there's a lot on the line and I don't want to die. There's a reason why a lot of people died to like 95 to 98 or whatever, you know, the classic, oh fuck, I died at 98. There's a reason why you see that a lot, because it turns into stress. Now, pro players might not have that stress at all and might just get nervous around here. Quote on the Pesta, I remember him saying he doesn't really... he only gets nervous really once he hits that like 80-90 range, and even then it's only nervous, it's not stress. So really pro players probably don't get nervous here. And then, you know, the average player is usually, it's going to look like a graph like this, where like this line right here is going to be your... you know, start to get nervous, and this line right here is going to be stress. Now, if you're a dog shit player like me, this is more of what it looks like. Now, other than just the progression of nerves in a level, there's also some other considerations to think of. First, what is the level and how important is it to you? I feel like these two kind of go into hand in hand together, because first, what is the level? There's a big difference between retray and thinking space 2. Most people are going to be really nervous getting far in thinking space 2 because it's a lot harder than retray. And also, how important is it to you? How long have you been playing this level? Do you look up to it? Do you find it really cool? Do you wish you were the level? And do you wish the level was a real thing? If so, that's also going to make a big impact, because depending upon how important a level is to you, you're probably going to get more nerves to it because there's more on the line to your personal opinion. Also, what is the community or social impact of the level? How important is it to the society as a whole? For example, Bloodbath is a really important level, and we know the impact it's had on the community. And if you're jumping from 9 circles to Bloodbath, you're probably going to be really nervous when you're getting far in Bloodbath, because everybody knows Bloodbath. But if you're doing that with Troll Machine, there's still probably going to be people that are going to be like, wow, that's really cool, good job, but it's not going to be as nerve-wracking, I don't feel like, because less people don't really know about the level, nor does it have the impact that that level has compared to others. That doesn't mean the achievement's not important though. Don't get that twisted. Achievements are just as important no matter what. Also, another thing is, how hard is the level? Now, I say kinda for a reason. So for example, if you're playing Ashley Wave Trials and you're getting really far, you know how hard that level is. There is a lot to lose, there is a lot on the line. And if you die there, you're gonna have to redo all that super hard difficulty right over again, compared to, let's say you're playing Aku or ACU, however you want to say it, I don't know. That isn't as hard, so you might not have as much nerves, especially depending upon the level of skill you have in the game, but that doesn't mean the achievement isn't as important. That's why I say kinda, because it all depends upon the player and what's important to them and the achievements that you're trying to acquire. Another consideration is what is the social or community-based impact the level had on the game. For example, everybody knows what Bloodbath is, and the huge impact it had on the game and the milestone that it is for a lot of players. That might make you really nervous because it has almost a social stigma to it, to where this level is really big and scary. Whereas you might play a level that's relatively new, let's say it's an easier extreme, relatively new, not super well known, it might not be as nerve-wracking because it doesn't have that social stigma yet. Or it doesn't hold it as a level, let's say, like Bloodbath does, or Slaughterhouse, or Yatagarasu, or Tartarus, or so on and so forth. Also, what type of level are you playing? For example, you might not get super nervous on a level that's maybe a minute long, while you still get somewhat nervous. You probably won't get as nervous as playing a level that's 7 minutes and 15 seconds long. Usually the length will kind of hit your nerves a little hard as well, because there's a lot more to redo. But also, it depends on the player, so take that with a grain of salt. There's also a lot of personal and social factors to this as well. Do you have a friend group that really wants to see you beat a certain level? Do you have a lot of viewers that are waiting for you to beat this really hard level or verify it? Or are you just a chud that uploads a video online, gets 2 comments, and realizes your achievement doesn't matter as much as other things, and you get sad? Anyways, if you made it this far, I'm really surprised. But yeah,